Well, EA has dropped the rest of the gold transfer cards, which probably means some of those cards get an SBC soon. And we do have some leaked already to talk about in today's video. I don't know what's going on with Evos here. I mean, we'll talk about it, but some of this stuff I do genuinely wonder if they made stuff too cool. They worry we wouldn't think about next year's game enough, which I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll discuss everything. We'll also look at the biggest upgrades in terms of gold cards for next year's FIFA and what their cards look like right now if they copy and pasted the last update from FC25 to FC26. I'll explain what we mean by that when we get there, but if you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. Thank you guys for being here, by the way. I was gone for the last couple of days because I was in Chicago for the weekend, and that was a lot of fun, but we're back now, so that's nice. And I'm also going to make a schedule for next year too on what the streaming schedule might look like, so we're tweaking some things here, but I might talk about that in a video coming up. Now I guess we'll start off first here with the Evos, because why for one is it max 95? I have no idea. We had a 96 rated Evo like 2 weeks ago, and we're still doing 95s. I really have no idea. The dribbling cap is 95 here. I mean, you have to know, like EA has to know this is not a very good Evo. I don't know how they wouldn't know that. And we have a max 97 dribbling requirements in August, in the middle of August. We're past the middle of August now. I mean, what are we doing here? That's pretty ridiculous. So yeah, sure, I'm being nitpicky right now, but like, you do wonder that some of these Evos recently have been really not very good, and I don't really understand the point of that. I'm stunned we don't have a make your own 99 Evo. Like, I'm stunned that we went through all of Shapeshifters, now all of Futties, and we have not had a make your own 99 Evo. I have no idea that's possible, but here we are, and it maybe hints us towards what we might see next year with a little bit less crazy Evos. And the SBCs too, I mean, we know that by now because we discussed this earlier, but we have our first 99 SBC, and that's Alex Scott. It's like, okay, this card's like pretty damn good, don't get me wrong, but how many of you are going to put this card in your team? My guess is not many of you, because it's a female women's 5'4" fullback that you're probably not going to care too much about. Then we finally got our first like really good 99 SBC, and that's Laurent Blanc here for the FC Pro World Champion, whatever, SBC. And this is a great card right here. This is a fantastic card, so I don't want to hate on this one at all. But I'm just surprised it took us till August like 17th or 16th to get our first 99. Kind of insane. I am a little surprised by the level of like standoffishness we've seen from EA over the last like month or so. Yeah, since our last video we made, we got the TOTS player pick, this player pick here, and then the icon pick, all repeatable too. 85-10, obviously that as well. And that's really nice. But at the same time, I kind of wish we got these a little bit earlier in the year just to like stay on the nitpicky side. I think releasing them now is just a little too late in my opinion, but I'm happy that it exists still. I'll always praise them for just doing this and kind of letting us have a fun end of the year, but I do wish it kind of came a little bit earlier. Also, this preseason challenge 2 came out, if you didn't see this, and it's just Lenny Yoro is in here. If I had to guess, this was probably a mistake, and EA probably just left it because they don't really care, because you can't press square to see the rewards here. And also, this Yoro, I would assume, is not meant to be in the challenges section. It's preseason challenge 2, and it shows the puzzle thing there, and it gives you a pack as well. I think it's a 50k pack for a 79 rated squad. I'm guessing that was just supposed to be what this is, and then Lenny Yoro accidentally ended up in here, and they just probably left it. So if you want to get this Yoro for 2 days only, this is really easy to do. It gives you a free 98 Euro plus a 50k pack. So thank you, EA, if that was, for one, not a mistake, then thank you. And two, if it was a mistake, thanks for not fixing it, because we're in August and who cares. But okay, so the very first thing here, we got some new transfers now into the game. I think this is like all of the rest of them, I'm pretty sure. They just added in the big names here. You got like Ekatike, Gyökeres, Teo, Xhaka, Diaz, etc. And usually we saw, I think with the last one, that it was like only a little bit later that the SBC started to come out. So for example, right here, 99 Diaz, 99 Teo, 99 Cunha. You're probably going to see these guys very shortly, if I had to guess. Next week, you'll probably see like 4 of the transfer players as SBCs, if I had to guess. There's a little concept of what they could look like. And here are all of the players that got transferred. So it's always fun checking out the women's cards, because like you never hear about women's transfers really. So like, I don't know, Young's daughter is now in the women's MLS, I guess. So that's a transfer card. All the big names, of course, are in here. But go check this out on the new FUTGG tab, because you'll see some transfers that like you didn't even know happened, honestly. I think I just voice cracked. But yeah, like for example, one that slipped by me was Jordan Henderson. I had no idea he's back in the Prem. I just didn't know that. Maybe I'm a casual for that. That one just slipped through, I guess, but Embuemo's in there. And yeah, just some interesting cards to check out. I think the only card now that we have not seen in this first AC leak, I want to say, it's right here. I think the only card we have not seen yet is this Giroud, right? I think just this Giroud we have not seen yet. So yeah, we're waiting on that card, and he looks pretty good. So take one last look at him before we go on to the next thing. But okay, next up here, we've already got some Premier League Player of the Month nominees for August, or at least concept nominees. Now, some people are like, hey, it's only going to be 2 game weeks this month, so actually it's worth talking about. Well, it's actually 3 game weeks. It's not 2. I don't know where that rumor came from. It's 3 game weeks, so we're looking at just game week 1 here, and a lot's going to change. So it's fun looking at these concepts because like Ekatike, Reinders, Kudus, a lot of these transfer guys here, but it's probably not worthy of looking into too hard right now. But there are some nominees. You could already say Holland's off to a nice start, Reinders off to a nice start, but it's probably not worthy of looking too much or too deeply into this right now. But okay, that's pretty much the news for FC25 stuff right now. Now we'll go on to FC26 stuff. So right now we're going to be looking at this, which is looking at the biggest upgrades based off of FC25 stats we've got right now for next year's game. And what I mean by that is this right now, this 86 Lamine Yamal technical plus right here. This is exactly what his card looks like in the final squad update on FC25. So Yamal will probably be at least this next year. And that's always fun and interesting to look at. So if you guys were here a while ago, we looked at the new playstyle pluses as well that some players got. Yamal being one of them. He got technical plus in one of the squad updates this year, still has it. And this is what his card looks like right now based off of his career mode stats. So he's got a +2 in pace, 4 in shooting, 6 in passing, and 7 in dribbling. And I believe they actually took away his left wing. I think he's just right mid and right wing, I want to say, so I can actually change that. Yeah, there we go. I think this is what his card is going to look like. So right wing, right mid here as his positions. And yeah, that's kind of the upgrade I'd expect. The rating debate has been, is Yamal going to get like a massive increase to 88, or is he going to be like kind of a more moderate 86? And some of these younger players, you do see actually some bigger upgrades on, even in the squad update. I'd say the majority of the time, though, it's going to be right around this. The first one, Lamine Yamal, looks like that. Do you guys agree or disagree with that one? And next up here is kind of an interesting one. So finally some justice for Salma, because I think it was like 2 or 3 straight years she was literally a top 5 Ballon d'Or finisher, and EA had her at 79. Nice job. So they finally are giving her an upgrade up to an 85 in the current squad update. Ironically a -1 in pace, but that's fine. Up +5 in shooting, 7 in passing, 3 in dribbling, and also gains a right wing position, I believe, there too. Unfortunately, no playstyle plus though for Salma there, but a cool little, I know, a better starter card that we'll see next year. More deserved for her IRL performance, clearly. And okay, next up here is Cole Palmer, and he gets Incisive Pass Plus, which I believe he's probably going to get next year. The playstyle plus updates are like pretty much 1-for-1 as to what they get next year, unless a new playstyle plus comes out, which they might get. You know, I'm trying to say, because obviously they can't have that in last year's game, but +2 pace, 3 shooting, 4 passing for Cole Palmer, 1 dribbling, and 1 physical. Position changes to cam and right mid instead of right mid, cam, and right wing. And I'm sure his roles are also going to change there as well. But if you had to give Palmer a playstyle plus, would you give him Incisive Pass Plus? Let me know what you guys think about that. Next up here is Desiree Doué, and he's up to an 81 overall. I kind of wouldn't be shocked to see him be higher than this, right? We know Doué's been fantastic. He might be one of those guys that ends up getting a higher rated boost in the next game, because some of the younger guys end up getting that. But +5 pace here, +6 shooting, 5 passing, 5 dribbling, and 5 physical on him. And also goes to 5-star skill moves, which you'll probably see next year as well. And position changes to a left wing. But I would not be shocked to see this card be higher than this when the game actually comes out. But you get 5-star skills, which that's kind of cool. Next up here, staying on the PSG theme, is Joao Neves. And Neves actually, I mean, he gets a huge upgrade, +5. But the card debatably doesn't look that much better, considering we're going down 4 pace from 81 to 77. Up 1 shooting, up 4 passing, cool. Up 4 dribbling, thumbs up. Gaining press proven plus as well, thumbs up there. +4 defending and no physical. But only 3-star skills still. They do give him a 4-star weak foot now, I guess, which is something, but the card doesn't look that great. We'll see if this once again stays the same for next year, because he's one of those younger guys again that could get a bigger upgrade than what we have here. But as of right now, this is what this card looks like, and okay, you know, what do you think about that one? Next up here, a transfer, Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal, and the card doesn't change too much. A couple of unfortunate downgrades, actually. Well, one actual downgrade being he's no longer 5-star weak foot. That kind of sucks. 5-star down to 4-star weak foot. And also his pace does not really increase despite going up 2 ratings, which that's not really a downgrade, but still is probably going to be a pretty big starter beast next year. No playstyle plus on him either. But after his debut, it was a little concerning, but there's only one game. Can't rule him out yet. Victor Glycogen is all over Twitter, and it wasn't pretty. Okay, kind of a random upgrade next here. Naomi Girma, who transferred to Chelsea, now has jockey plus an 80 pace. Now, she's 5'4", so you're not probably going to be using her, but still a huge upgrade for her. Yeah, you're probably not going to be using her despite better links now. 5'4" center backs they don't cut out too well in Ultimate Team. Next up here is Pau Kubarsi, the Barca center back, and really substantial upgrade on him, plus 9 overall, 4 pace, 9 defending, and 12 physical for Kubarsi. No playstyle plus, only 81 rated, but still a really nice upgrade on him. He too could see a higher one because he's very young, but you Barca fans, you think that's high enough for just like one really good season? Was 81, does that make sense? Yamal was 81 last year going into this season, so maybe that kind of makes sense. Staying with Barca, we've got Rafinha up to an 88 from an 84, same pace, but plus 5 shooting, 5 passing, 1 dribbling, and 1 physical, also gaining rapid plus, which that's pretty awesome, and switching from a right wing to a left mid there. But a very big upgrade for him. I think most would say that's probably deserved. Does he deserve higher, lower, or is that just about right there? Next up is Olise, getting a plus 3, and once again getting a pace downgrade here, though, unfortunately, minus 2 there. Also taking away his cam position, which that kind of sucks. But plus 2 shooting, 1 passing, and 2 dribbling, and 6 physical, actually. But that plus 3, I guess, still comes in somehow, as the physicals playing a big part in that one. No playstyle plus for him either, unfortunately. Next up here is Moises Caicedo. Now, unfortunately, with Caicedo, I was kind of thinking, he had such a great season that we're going to kind of get a Conte 2.0, literally the same club, a Conte 2.0 next year. Maybe, but the 75 pace, he keeps the exact same pace according to the squad update, or the latest squad update, I should say. Kind of maybe goes against that slightly. Gets plus 2 passing, 2 dribbling, 5 defending, and 4 physical there for Caicedo. And no playstyle plus still. Does he deserve one? What one would you give Caicedo? But yeah, by the way, I called he's going to be good. When you watch him at Brighton, there was no way Caicedo was not going to be good. I don't care about his one bad season at Chelsea. He was just way too good of a player, so I'm happy to see that he's actually, performing to what the level that he can do. I worded that terribly, but anyway, we got Pacho here, who's got a plus 5 rating and also a new playstyle plus in Bruiser plus. Going to be a pretty crazy center back at the start of next year's game, honestly. With that Bruiser plus, which is very, very good for the advanced defenders out there, that's going to be a ridiculous starter card for next year. A ton of PSG cards are going to get crazy upgrades. I can do a part 2 of this, by the way, in another video. We've still got some more to get through here, but there's obviously a ton we can go and look at. So just let me know if this is interesting to you. We're probably going to end up doing it again because we just don't have a whole lot to talk about at this time of the year. Next up, David Raya, who gets really big upgrades all across the board here. Plus 3 overall rating, plus 3 diving, 1 kicking, 5 reflexes, which is awesome to see, 7 speed, and 3 positioning on David Raya. So he'll be a very expensive Premier League goalkeeper up there with the Edersons, the Allisons, all of those guys right at the start of next year's game. Next up is Gravenberch, I believe is how you say his name. Big upgrades here, plus 6 overall on him, 78 to 84, 5 pace, big defending and physical upgrades on him, plus 12 defending and 7 physical, changing him to a CDM as well, is EA, and a really, really good card. 85 dribbling too. He'll be very, very expensive at the start of the game next year, of course, because he's Liverpool as is, but the card itself actually looks pretty awesome. And he's, what, 6'3", I think? Or, yeah, 6'3", I want to say, so that makes it even better. And the last one we'll look at here is a, oh my god, Bruiser plus Konate. 77 pace, 85 defending, 85 physical, up to an 85 rated, and that's going to be a very expensive starter center back in next year's game. And remember, ideally, if EA changed the power curve to make it a little bit slower, we're going to be sitting here using these cards more into the year, hopefully for another like month or so, I would guess, is what people's standards are. I would be kind of surprised to see it be that much. I guess it would be like maybe 3 more weeks of gold cards ish, and the icons, the base icons, last a bit longer than that in terms of longer into the cycle. But yeah, hard to say about that right now, but these gold cards could theoretically be actually kind of more important than in previous years if this game actually comes to fruition with the power curve stuff. But yeah, Bruiser plus Konate, okay, that's a really ridiculous card. And we can do more of these literally in tomorrow's video if you want to see more of them, if they're interesting to you guys. But if not, that's okay too. Let's kind of go on to your comments now. We'll start off with iPhone Daily. About Pale Tools, EA should pay money to PT's developers. EA failed to provide user-friendly interfaces for their most profitable game. PT did their job for free. It's only fair if EA shares some profit with PT's developers. If I am EA's CEO, I would buy PT and integrate it into the official web app. If they are really listening to their customers, it couldn't be more obvious that we all need Pale Tools. Now, I think you're right about one thing, and that's that EA failed to provide a user-friendly interface for their most profitable game. I can get behind that one, 100%. I think, though, the reason behind that is probably more intricate than we realize. I think maybe this might be reading too much into things. Well, I know one thing is not reading too much into it, and that's that them implementing Pale Tools type things would probably leave us on the game for a shorter amount of time. So they probably could provide that, but they don't probably want to provide that because they think that they would want you on the game longer, or I should say they want you on the game longer, and they think that would do that if there weren't Pale Tools type things. But this is where that debate comes in, and this is where I was kind of going with this, is like, do you think the failed user interface, like, it's not horrible, right? But it's not great by any means. Do you think that some of that stuff is more intentional than we realize, I guess? Or is it just like a failed implementation of an optimized UI? You know, are they trying their best to optimize it and make it good? Or are they trying to maybe skim some stuff out to attempt to keep you on the game longer? Are both maybe true? I would lean towards the idea that they can, if they wanted to, implement more Pale Tools things. They could have done that a long time ago, but they don't really want to do that because they want to keep you on the game as long as possible. Retention is king. We've talked about that before. That's something I ask you guys is like, do you think that they are doing that intentionally, or is that like, no, they're trying to make it really optimized and they just can't do it? And a comment from Usama, I believe, says, no matter what time of year, the best and rarest cards should stay that way. I think that I actually do agree in one sense that there are some really, really rare cards that have a place to be in the game. Like, I like the idea of a super rare card throughout 95% of the year. But once we reach, to me, like once we reach July 1st, I'm like, okay, fuck it. I don't really care anymore. It's kind of where I draw the line at. But maybe you might say the game's more interesting when there's rarer cards throughout the entire way. I can see why you would think that. I just think that if we're playing in the game in July, like, everyone kind of deserves to play with whoever they really want to. And to me, I don't even think it's like, oh, give cards out for free or whatever. I think it's make a ton of player SBCs, release it about the beginning of July, like that Shapeshifter's Dino, make them 50 squads. Release every single Shapeshifter's icon you release, post Shapeshifters, like Shapeshifter's icon, Futties icon as an SBC and in the team if you want to. So you can try and pack them, obviously, and then also you can try and craft them. I don't care if they're 45 squads each and they're crazy overvalued. The fact that we can get them as SBCs immediately would be a really, really cool thing to me. So I think that I don't mind the idea of this comment. I think there's just like a point I would draw where I'm like, okay, at this point, I don't really care about rarity and cards anymore. But, you know, let me know what you guys think about that. And like bro says here, it's simple. They just don't want us playing next year's game and losing interest. Or sorry, they don't want us playing this year's game and having too much fun and losing interest in next year's game. You know, is that the truth here as to what they're doing? I do think the SBC content's been pretty damn good, but the players themselves have been very strange. I don't really get that part. The comments agreed, I think, in a lot of what 2 days ago's video was, but yeah, I don't know. I think that the Evos are also really strange too, I guess. Max 95s, we got our first Max 95, like, I want to say a month and a half ago. Don't really get that part, but I don't know. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you all so much, and I love you all so much. Peace.